Let's all go visit an abandoned place and do the Ouija
Bro, I've
board.
been wait. Oh,
Would y'all ever do that? A Ouija board is scary to me, bro.
I have one in the house somewhere. Every time, bro, I don't know where it is.
Bro, let's do Bloody Mary. Let's do
No, no.
Charlie
Okay, you
Charlie.
lost me. You lost
Oh
me.
my
Look, bro,
god.
let's do
Out of
Bloody
all, we
Mary,
can do
Charlie
everything else,
Charlie,
but we cannot do Bloody Mary.
That,
Oh
and then
my.
a
exact.
Ouija
See,
board.
Ryan knows.
Another story. It's also very haunting about a man's experience in an uncharted cave. 2001. Updated 2001. That was the last update, bro. I will not reveal the names of the other people involved in this experience. If you know me well enough, you probably know them already. Yeah, I know them, so don't fucking ask, guys. So chill out. I will not reveal the location of this cave to anyone for any reason.
Bruh.
So please don't ask. I refuse to be held accountable for anyone's life but my own. I will refer to the cave as Mystery Cave. That is not its real name. If you think these events sound far-fetched, I agree. I would come to the same conclusion had I not experienced them. Check the date on the main page so you see when I made updates. This motherfucker died. After we explored all the usual passages, we climbed down to check out the hole. The hole is located deep in the cave near the lowest part of the cave. Alright, the progress on the hole. This is like over 2 weeks of work, bro. Alright, this is where it takes a turn, everyone. Got my arms through the entrance with minor scrapes. Next came my head. By keeping it turned sideways, I was able to get it for the most part up to my shoulder. I decided to just push through. Keep in mind that I'll have to come back out eventually, and I was in. Could at least get a good idea of what the tomb was going to be like.
What am I looking at?
Bro's body is halfway in that little hole, bro.
I remember seeing that picture of just
You
that.
seen it?
Yeah, I seen that picture. What? It was like
Nah.
some creepypasta though.
I remember in elementary school, first we were like just throwing toilet paper, like wet toilet paper over the stuff. Bloody Mary got like into the conversation and we were just talking. I'm like, yo, matter of fact, we should do Bloody Mary right now. And then Josh was taking a shit. He's like, yo, chill.
Are you stuck on the toilet?
Yeah, we find the light switch, we turn it off, and we both at the same time like Bloody Mary. He's like, yo, stop. We did the second one, and his ass literally flushed the toilet. He just went the fuck, he ran out, bro. He's like, nah.
The old name's called Ted the Caver. That's where I saw that. I don't know what's about to happen, but
Wait,
going.
I fucking hate you, Ryan. Now you made me more scared because you said creepypasta. The task of getting out turned out to be as painful as I thought it would. I had put my arms overhead and forced my shoulder through the hole. It definitely left some skin behind as I slipped through. As much as I looked forward to getting into the passage, it was a relief to get back out. Something strange happened with the pictures I took. The pictures I took in the passage leading up to the large room all turned out just fine. Strangely, none of the pictures taken in the room turned out. Pictures of the round rock and hieroglyphics I saw. Couldn't believe how easy Joe slipped through the passage. He said it was tight, but it sure didn't look like it. B went to the hole and yelled into it, Joe. No answer. You just can't hear each other when you are very far apart in a cave. We nervously awaited. Just as I was getting prepared to go back through, saw a light deep in the passage. Joe, I called out. Nothing. Joe, still no answer. Light got brighter and I could hear noise of someone crawling across the broken rock that lined the cave. You okay, Joe? No, was his weak reply. As I pulled it back through the passage, he began to climb back through the tomb. We didn't even get a chance to question him before he was coming back through. He quickly slipped through the squeeze in the hole and we finally got a good look at him. He looked terrible. His face was pale. He had numerous cuts and scratches on his face and arms. His eyes were wide open. Once we got outside the cave, I figured out we would be able to find out more from Joe. But when we got up, he just unclipped from the rope and went straight to the truck. In the light of day, he looked even worse than in the cave. Joe said he did not want to stay overnight because he felt terrible, and we believed him. He headed home. We could not get no more information from Joe. He just stared straight ahead. He was shaking like a leaf, and he said he was not cold. When we tried to question him, his answers were short. I asked him if he saw the hieroglyphics. No. Did he hear us yelling? No. Did he see the round rock? No. Did he see crystals? No. A little ways in and started to feel sick. Something was fishy about his answer. He would have had to have seen the crystals if he got far enough into the cave. Joe called in sick weeks ago and hasn't been in since. He said Joe warned his boss he might be out for a while.
Bro, something messed him up in that cave.
Yeah, the dying NASA scientist. This is really disturbing, but the least chilling explanation for it is that the guy behind this channel is completely batshit crazy. What?
Okay, we're about to get cursed from watching this. Stop, stop. Alright, guys, come on. What are we watching?
I'm actually scared, bro.
So change it.
Once again, I got a strange feeling, just like the last time. I looked around carefully and saw nothing to be alarmed about. I proceeded to film the entire room. After I taped everything to my satisfaction, I moved towards the end of the room to prepare to explore new territory. You'll see this guy, after I see if I saw my friend tweak out like that, why would you go back? At the far end of the large room was a tunnel that led to darkness. The entrance was about a foot lower than my head, and it looked like it continued at that height for as far as I could see. The wall of the new passage were darker than the rest of the cave. The ceiling had the same type of near perfect arch. It almost seemed out of place in the jagged atmosphere of the cave. From behind me, I heard the scrapping noises. It was loud. It was close, coming from the same large room I had just left. I wheeled around to face whatever had made that noise. When I did, I lost my presence of mind and stood up at the same time. My helmet had crashed into the passage ceiling. My light had broke and I was buried in the heavy darkness. Pain shot through my neck and down into my back. My knees began to weaken. I gently set the camera down as I began to see stars from the pain in my upper back. I felt like I was vulnerable from every direction. I was shaking violently, trying to figure out what to do.
Bro, who's the baddie?
Thank you.
Yo, I'm single.
Excuse me?
Oh, solely.
Yeah, I'm single now.
Here goes your wire.
That's not Jackbox?
Yes.
That's not a Jackbox?
Yes.
Okay, let me turn up my mic a little bit.
Oh no, you're good. You're good.
There we go.
You are good. My mind was not thinking clearly. I honestly thought I was going to die right there. I wondered how B would ever figure out what had happened to me. I also thought about my glow sticks. Without taking my eyes off the large room, I felt around in my pack for the glow sticks. I put the phone on my ear and heard nothing. The usual beeps to indicate connection with the other phone were not. The line was dead. What could have just happened? I just talked to B. Found myself nearly sobbing in fear. I knew the only way out of here was back the way I came from, but something was there.
Bruh, so something was waiting for him to leave.
The rock was now sitting on the wire. The thin wire snapped. My only hope of contact with the outside world ceased to exist when that wire broke. I never felt so alone and helpless. Buried deep within the earth, I had voluntarily descended into my own grave with a casket of solid rock.
Bruh.
There's 1 million views.
That's hard. But I'm scared to just keep watching.
What is
What
that?
the heck? Bro, what is happening right now?
Okay, stop.
Bro, this is scary, dude. Homophobia. What am I on? What am I watching? You had those tight jeans that really showed off your ass, and what the
What
fuck
are
am
we
I
reading?
reading?
What?
Bro, this is some.
Who's
This
Reagan?
is literally Ronald Reagan fan fiction, bro. What the fuck am I on? Get the fuck out of here. I found myself moving much faster than I should have been in that cave. My only thought was to get out as quickly as possible. In the passage where I had to crawl myself down on all fours, barely slowing down as I dropped, my hands came in contact with the cave floor. I felt an electric shock all the way through down my back. For the first time since this nightmare had begun, I had let out a scream. Finally, I had reached the last stretch of the cave before the squeeze. When I reached the rope, I flipped off my helmet and shoved it into my pack. I had forgot my video camera. It was a fleeting thought.
Bruh.
I cared no more about that camera than a passenger of the Titanic cared about a hat or a coat.
Bro, at least he was not stupid enough to go back.
Went back, pulling the rope in. I had about half of it when the rope hit a snag. There was no way I was going to crawl back in to release it. So I decided to just forget the rope and get my harness and get out the cave. Quickly looked down at the rope to discover my horror that the rope was disappearing. Pulling the rope back into the cave and began climbing out of the cave without being attached to the rope. B and I parted company after the trip, and I didn't see him again until yesterday. Either of us tried to contact Joe. Bro, check on that man. Holy
Right.
shit. Clothing store website.
What just happened? I don't know what you just downloaded.
Bro.
What did you? Alright, stop.
Was this on the website?
He was the first dude to hack a TV station like this. He really could have made a message, but he's just doing this, bro. Oh yeah, this is
What?
the he gets spanked.
There.
Now back to your program. Yo, imagine all the families that were just sitting at home watching this show. B just dropped me off after the trip, and I spent the next several days by myself. I tried to eat but had no appetite. I went to work the next day but was sent home. The day after that, I had an overwhelming feeling of anxiety sink into my soul. Then things started to get strange. At first I was hearing noise in the house. Bro,
Okay.
Bro.
Yup.
Weeks after we went into the cave, and a week after I began hearing things, I began to have nightmares. Holy shit. Extremely lucid nightmares. Sometimes I was in my house, someone was trying to get me, only I couldn't run because I had no leg. It continued for several days until it reached a climax on the 6th day, yesterday. My dreams had seemed so
God.
real. I had a hard time telling if I was awake or not. Going from the living room to my bedroom in the early evening, when I looked down the hall and saw a dark figure toward the end. As I was backing up, the lights flickered off and on. I stopped to stare at the figure, then the phone rang. It startled me so bad, I stumbled over the chair. When I got up, I wheeled around to look down the hall and nothing was there. I grabbed my my keys and left the house. I wanted to drive to Overlook Point and see the city lights. I didn't know why I needed to go there, but I knew I had to go. When I arrived at the point, I saw something that first startled me. Joe was there. He was out of his car, standing looking at the light. We looked at each other. I could see from the tired look on his face that he had been going through the same miserable trial that I had been experiencing. "You been back?" he began. He knew the answer. "Yes, we need to return. Tomorrow good?" "Yeah." "No." Got in his car and I got into mine. I would send this update so no one will wonder what's going on with me. I suspect that by the time most of you read this, I'll be back home and we'll have a great story to tell. If you haven't heard about me by now, you will very shortly. It's now 10 a.m. Saturday the 19th. For the first time, I'll carry a gun into the cave.
Nah, I don't know why they would go back if that happened to me.
Wait, that's the last page, dude.
There's no
What?
way.
Look, the date. That's the same day. This was the last update. I was right.
No way.
So, moral of the story, don't go into caves. Because I've seen videos of people doing that shit underwater, too.
Nah, that's too far.
Underwater.
The same shit as this, just underwater. Who the fuck?
Bruh, that scared he left.